So what's it like being paparazzi? It's not the most popular job in the world, but it's quite a, what you do can be pretty popular.
Um, it's kind of mixed feelings. First of all, in order to be a paparazzi, you kind of have to have thicker skin, which I actually don't. But lots of people, they don't like what we're doing, but they like the results of our work. And you see it all the time when people say, "Oh, goddamn paparazzi, just leave them alone," and etc., and blah blah blah. But then those are the people who actually buy the magazines and who actually look at the celebrity pictures and who actually demand us to do our work. And they don't understand the simple thing: if there would be no demand, there would be no such a profession as paparazzi.
And also, I saw a lot of your photos are not typical. I mean, some of the people, you've done a lot of photojournalism, I mean, paparazzi type of stuff that's, the people are welcoming you. So it's not like you're completely unpopular. I mean, you've been hired to, take photos at events and things like that, and you really seem to capture people's character, not just the moment of kind of surprise.
Thank you, but there are like two types of people and two types of jobs. Of course, there are more types of people and more types of jobs, but just to simplify it. First of all, there are events where celebrities expect to see event photographers, and paparazzi sometimes do event photos. And also there are two types of celebrities. Some of them understand that we are the necessary part of their success and of the entire entertainment business, and there are people who don't understand it. And some celebrities don't realize that part of their popularity is our photos, is the pictures that we take of them, and that they repeatedly, their faces get to magazines and they get recognized, and people like to know about their fashion, about the way they're living their life, etc., etc. And some celebrities do realize it, and I cannot say that they welcome paparazzi, but they're being cool about it, and they take us as their satellites, as the satellites of their business, and we kind of work together. And there are many celebrities that actually call paparazzi. They call the agency, their publicists calling us, and they telling us, "Guys, please be there and there, because they're gonna do something nice and something cute and something touchy, and we want people to see these parts of their lives."
So, kind of off the record, you said there are some people that are nice to work with, some are not. But what does it tell you about someone who, you get to know some people's attitude and character? What impresses you about people you meet, and what doesn't? And you don't have to mention any names, of course, but just, some people have a lot of respect and engender that. Tell me what you've learned about people by doing this kind of business.
It tells a lot about the intelligence of people, because some people, the intelligent ones, they understand, even if they don't like us, they understand, they take us as a necessary evil, so to say, and they're being cool about it, and they act in a respectful way and in a nice way, and that portrays them as a nicer people, People who are less intelligent, they get aggravated, and they get nasty sometimes, and it doesn't show them in the best possible light, and people see their traits of the character that are not flattering for them, first of all. And it tells a lot about how respectful people are, and how well behaved they are, and how they contain themselves or how they cannot contain themselves. For example, Alec Baldwin, he's a great actor, and I'm sure he's a smart guy, and maybe a nice person, in a private life. But when he acts a certain way, about the press, doesn't make a good impression about him,
So what are a couple of tips you would have for anyone about their brand, what goes online, how they act, what they do? What's a couple of tips for people that aren't famous or in entertainment, just about being ready for the moment? in front of a camera or dealing with people? Just always be authentic and
Just be yourself, just be cool, be yourself, and just enjoy yourself, regardless of, like of some surprise moments. And if there is a press around you, you don't have to try to be somebody who you're not. As I said, just be yourself. For example, there is I'm not gonna call the name, but there is a person. She's one of the fashion icons, and her fiance was really upset about paparazzi being constantly around her, even though paparazzis are the ones who actually make her this fashion icon, because we constantly take pictures of her fashion, etc., etc. And he was saying, how hard it is for her to strike the best pose ever every time there is a photographer around. And I told him, she doesn't have to strike the best pose ever. Nobody's perfect. Nobody's expecting anyone to be perfect. She's beautiful as she is, she's naturally beautiful as she is. She just has to be herself. And she doesn't have to try, to be anyone else, for the camera or for anybody.
And last question, you seem to capture people at some pretty interesting moments, but I mean, I've seen your pictures. They're not like a lot of things I might see in the the magazines at the grocery store aisle. Like, what's your vision? How did you kind of develop your style to kind of capture people in pretty authentic light?
I just like people's sincerity, and this is what I aim for. Some pictures that you see on my website, this is not the pictures that magazines would choose and that they would put out. But what actually interests me in celebrities or in regular people, in any people, in photography and in life, it's being genuine. And I like to capture these moments, and I like to show these moments to the world.
And your website and where they can find some of these photos and some examples of your work.
It's gulkom.com. It's GULKOM.com. This is my last name and the first letter of my first name. Gulko, Misha Gulko. You can find me on Facebook as well. Misha Gulko.
Thanks.